Welcome back to the 2014 BYU Football Media Day live web chats. We're here with Dennis Pitta of the Baltimore Ravens. Right after him, it's going to be State of the Program with Bronco Mendenhall at 11 Eastern Time. Then we're going to have a special BYU Sports Nation at 12 Eastern Time. And then at 3 p.m., we're going to watch BYU football, greatest moments then and now with some web chats in between. Thank you so much for being here with us, Dennis.
No problem.
First things first, we had a fan write in, and he wanted to know if you were going to be sporting the handlebar mustache again this season.
No, that's it's not a good look on me. And you know, as soon as I shaved it, I was relieved. But that was a couple. We got a picture. Oh yeah,
there's the picture for you.
That's not a good look. Yeah,
is it called a handlebar mustache?
It's actually called a Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah,
okay.
We initially called it a handlebar mustache because that's what we thought it was, and we were corrected by all of Baltimore that it's a Fu Manchu. So it actually became pretty popular. I think people started painting on little mustaches and stuff for the games, and we went on a pretty good winning streak when we did it, so we had to keep it going.
Yeah, was that the reason for it?
Yeah, I mean, we did it just to kind of be funny at the time. I think we did it the day of the Thanksgiving game a couple years ago, and we won. It was a big game. It was against the 49ers, and we won a few games after that, so we kept it going until the end of the season.
Is you and Joe Flacco?
Yeah, me and Joe. We recruited a couple other guys. We got our punter and kicker and a couple other guys to do it. But it was a hard sell to get guys to do it because we didn't look very good in them.
What's your relationship like with Joe Flacco? You guys seem like good pals.
Yeah, we're good friends. Joe's a lot like me. He's got a good family. He's married with 2 kids, and I think in an NFL locker room that's kind of difficult to find. And so, we naturally gravitated towards each other, and we're a lot alike personality-wise. And so, anytime you can be good friends with your quarterback, it helps. Yeah,
definitely. As a tight end and a receiver, you got to be best friends with that guy.
That's right.
So you caught a touchdown pass in the 2012 Super Bowl. When did that moment set in for you?
I still don't think it has. I mean, I have the ball at home, and it's got the inscription there on it, the Super Bowl 47, and I look at it, and it's something that I think I'll appreciate even more the older I get, and being able to look back at that game and share that moment with my children and family, and but it's when it happens, it's just so surreal, and I think even now it's kind of difficult to put in words what that time meant.
Well, even as Cougar fans, we were watching that just like, yes, it was just a moment of pride for even any BYU fan. It's like, Dennis Pitta! Everyone in the world is watching that. So I'm just curious. You catch that, and I loved your reaction. You just kind of walk. A lot of people celebrate a ton. You just caught it. You just kind of walk off. What was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not much of a celebrator. I like to act like I've been there before, but your emotions are high when you catch a touchdown like that, and it was a big touchdown. It gave us a little bit of separation from the 49ers at that point in the game, and you just got to keep playing football. You can't get overwhelmed by the moment, but it was pretty cool.
Still a whole lot of games left after that.
Yeah.
What's it like being in Baltimore? Do people recognize you now, and how do they react?
Yeah, Baltimore's a great city. I mean, they love football, and they are huge Raven fans there. So it's becoming more and more difficult to kind of get around town without being recognized. But they're so passionate about football, and it's a really fun town to play in.
As long as you just have that Fu Manchu shaved, no one's going to recognize you.
I think I was more recognizable with it, but now I'm glad that I don't have it.
So with all those people recognizing you, what do you do in your spare time in Baltimore when you're not playing football?
We're pretty low key down there. We go out for dinner and hang out, and that's about it. We don't do a whole lot, and we hang out with Joe a lot, and you can't go in public with him at all because he's a celebrity out there. So we lay low and don't do a whole lot.
So you injured your hip last year in practice. How's that coming along?
It's good. I'm fortunate to say that it's back to 100%, and we just finished our off-season program, so we've been doing 8 weeks of workouts and practices, and it's my hip feels great, and it was a tough injury last year, but fortunately I was able to get back for the last 4 games and help our team a little bit, but this was a big off-season for me to be able to get back to full strength, and I think I'm there.
Good. What are your expectations for the Ravens this season?
Our expectations are always high. We have a good football team, and I think this time of year everybody's optimistic about what they can do, and we're no different. you know, the ultimate goal is to play in the Super Bowl again and to win a Super Bowl, and we feel like we have the team and the guys to be able to accomplish that.
Dennis, I know a lot of people mention you were a walk-on, and then you go to the NFL, catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's a unique success story, though. What was the driving force behind that success?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always been pretty self-motivated. You know, I come from a great family, and they've always, you know, taught me the value of hard work and determination. And I think, you know, being a walk-on, you have to really, you know, believe in yourself, and you have to work hard to be able to prove yourself. And I was able to do that, and you know, things fell into place. I was given opportunities and was able to make the most of them. And you know, here I sit today with having a lot of success.
What do you tell to a player now who's maybe a little down on themselves? They're not getting a scholarship or something to play college football. What do you want to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough road. It's not easy. I'll tell them that. But, you know, you just got to, like I said, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to have confidence in yourself and what you can do. And you apply that with hard work, and that's a recipe for success.
What's it like playing offense on a team that is pretty much known for its defense? Haloti Ngata, Ray Lewis. What's that like? What was it like being on that team?
Yeah, I mean, offense is kind of takes a back seat a lot of times in Baltimore to the defense. You know, the defense has been so good for so long there, and especially with, you know, when I came in there was the figures like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Haloti Ngata, like you mentioned. You know, future Hall of Famers in the league, and you know, arguably the best players at their position. And so it was a little bit daunting, and having to go against those guys in practice every day. I mean, it made us better. Yeah. And you know, I think we finally were able to kind of put it together in our Super Bowl run, and the offense really is the ones who led us through the playoffs. And you know, it was fun to be a part of that team.
Is this your first time back in Provo in a while?
I've been back a few times, but yeah, I haven't been back in a while, so it's fun to be back and see, you know, all the new buildings and everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah, very different. It's fun to see the progress around here.
What is your favorite memory? So the 50th anniversary for LaVell Edwards Stadium is coming up. What's your favorite memory on that field?
On that field, I think it has to be my final game there when we played the University of Utah, and it came down to an overtime, you know, game, and we scored in overtime to win it, and it was a pass to Andrew George, and you know, what a great moment for him, and what a great moment for our team, and something I'll never forget.
That's a game they show several times on BYUtv. If you ever watch it replayed over and over again, it is one of the greatest games. I'm supposed to ask you, how's your bocce ball coming along?
You know, I left my bocce ball skills here in Provo. I haven't really played since, you know, I left. Maybe once or twice, but you know, I think my skills are steadily declining.
I'm pretty sure Jerem Jordan told me didn't he play scrimmage against you in basketball or something one time? I mean, maybe
I think he did, actually.
It's something he really remembers, though, so you might not. How's your basketball coming along?
It's good. You know, I probably shouldn't say that I play a lot of basketball, but basketball's fun, and you know, it's a good way to get some exercise. So anytime Jerem wants to play me again in basketball, I'm happy to see him on the court.
Oh, man. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that out loud if I were you.
That's all right. I can handle it.
So I'm sure you follow BYU football a little bit. How much contact do you have with your old teammates?
I have a lot of contact with some of my old teammates. You know, I keep in close touch with guys like Austin Collie, obviously Max Hall, Andrew George I just talked to last night, and you know, a bunch of those guys that I played with. And they're great friends of mine. You know, we became good friends in our time here at BYU, and guys that I'll always be able to stay in contact with. I don't know as many of the guys on the team now as I, you know, used to, but you know, I'm sure they have a great group of guys there now. So,
what are your thoughts on BYU football being left out of the Power 5? I'm sure you heard that. What was your first reaction to that?
This is the first time I'm hearing that.
BYU, hey, by the way, BYU was left out of the Power 5.
Okay, wow, so. That is shocking. No,
breaking news.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's tough. You know, the way that, you know, college football is shifting nowadays, you see these, you know, mega conferences that are forming, and you know, I think everybody wants to be a part of those for various reasons, and I think BYU is still in a good position, you know, as an independent, and you know, hopefully a good opportunity to join a conference like that will you know, happen. But I think we just have to, you know, keep playing good football, and we have good schedules, and you know, that's all we can do.
Get our name out there.
Yep.
What coming back to Provo, how does that feel? Just coming back to Provo after that long. What feelings do you have about that?
It feels good. I mean, I love Provo, and I loved my time here at BYU, and so I have great memories here, and it's always fun to come back and see guys that I haven't seen in a long time, and you know, it's just a special place for me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here with us, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you.
Up next, we have State of the Program, so stay tuned, and we're going to have some more live web chats coming up.